No man is poor. In each person's life, there has been a time when one has felt very inadequate. In other words, poor. Some of us would say we've been inadequate in our whole lifetime. Well, it is unfortunate if we have felt this way our whole life. I say this because I think we resign ourselves so much to this belief of inadequacy because of where we live or the people we have surrounding us that we didn't notice when we were rich. I believe we are always adequate, just like we are always inadequate. We have the potential to be one or the other. It is for us to choose which way to feel. Don't draw any conclusions yet. I will soon explain this madness. We are often told that we were created perfect. Believe it. We are perfect in a group of living things that we find ourselves amongst. We feel a void. Our perfection is in the fact that we perfectly feel a particular emptiness in this world. And our Creator neither made us with 100% profile of inadequacy, nor made us with 100% profile of adequacy in every situation or every case. We are all rich and we are all poor. So can we ever be poor that we have nothing at all? No, that can't be. At each instant, at every minute in our lifetime, we have something. We need to appreciate who we are. A box of fantastic talents, innumerable skills, useful qualities, free time, indispensable acumen, etc., etc. When Aristotle said, "Man, know thyself," he meant to say, we should know what we've got. It is what we've got that makes us what we are. Knowing our capabilities and talents and skills makes us a wise Lord. Knowing these, in as much as they are useful to us and to all mankind, is the ultimate knowledge. We should see ourselves as we are, with our failings and fortunes. Seeing ourselves with our defects and our qualities puts us in a better position to face any obstacle. So that to close our eyes to our defects and open our eyes to the good qualities would even be the last thing we would do. Also, equally, we wouldn't close our eyes to our qualities and open them to our defects. It pays to be realistic. Better to acknowledge all of these as they are than not. It is hard yet feasible, won't we say? Realistic here means all things considered. Sometimes we will need others to tell us about us. We wouldn't like to admit it, but almost all of us have a cropped image of ourselves. We assume we are others. Little wonder that an armless person would vouch to play table tennis at an international table tennis competition, or a person without a foot would still wear shoes. It is true that everybody is a potential oak, though at the moment, some of us are acorns and would remain so. Our potential is not our state, and over here, nobody should quote me as a cynic. All I'm saying is that the best favor we could do to ourselves is to see potential as potential and then reality as reality. In what has to do with our personalities, it is a must. For example, we can't all be Geminis, so we avoid acts that will portray us as such. There's too little time to be somebody else, but as telling the truth of our character and personality is too hard, courtesy our egos. We should give others the opportunity to do this for us. Of course, another good reason to allow others to do us the honor of telling us who we are, that when the truth hurts, we wouldn't hold it against ourselves. Humanity is like a puzzle, and each of us is one of the jigsaws that makes us complete. This means we need others And others too need us. We don't need them only because we want to be told what we are, or in extension, not because we want them to be useful to us. We need them also because we meet their needs. Our positives fill their negatives. Our supplies meet their demands, and vice versa. We must be prepared to use others and be used by others if we want to be rich and adequate. Most of us feel poor. We feel poor because we have not made up our minds to use others and be used by others. Some pride, you would say. I continue to remind us that we are part of a bigger picture. We are not some separated dot in space. We are the dot that adds up to make a certain picture. It will be grossly unfair to us if you assume we can use others without being used. And in the same way, it will be unfair to us if we think we can be used by others without our using them. That's not the rule. The rule favors the fool and the wise alike. When we've acknowledged them as they are, we move on to better a lot. How do we better a lot? We will have to direct our defects and qualities towards where we want it to be. We work our defects and qualities into something useful. We create. To create means we make use of the things around us, whether they are significant or insignificant, superficially or from the surface. Everything and every person around us is a resource that we can't throw away. No one will feel guilty about this point, knowing that he is also a resource to somebody else. Truly, what comes around goes around on this planet we find ourselves in. Now, all this said, there's no need for anyone to feel guilty for having more than others. And at the same time, you do not feel like a victim who hasn't anything at all in this world and therefore will sit and weep over your misfortune. Wake up. There's no poor man